I can't even do it with a straight face.
Welcome to another Fact or Fiction Friday. I told you we had something super exciting for you. We are your super friends. I am the guinea pig, Christopher McHale. He is a professor, Jason Parsons. And this exciting, super exciting, I should say, topic is about superfoods. How many times you get a nice kale salad, kale Caesar, really good.
I don't think you should say nice and kale in the same sentence.
Or
it's just me.
The decades ago when it first hit the scene and we had that acai berry juice, which was called Monavi, or however you want to say it. It looked like a little wine bottle. You would just drink gallons and gallons of it because it made you live forever. We're going to tackle this topic. He's going to tackle this topic because I really have no idea. So, with all ado, Mr. Parsons.
All right. It's entertaining. We talked about this when we were going to film this video. We said, hey, we should wear our superhero shirts. And I promise you, we did not coordinate Captain America.
I ran at a 5K in this one.
I don't run unless the police are chasing me, so I definitely didn't.
I couldn't find my hat.
Yeah, that's good. He didn't find his hat. Anyway, so superfoods are the key to your health. Well, that might be a little hyperbole in there. So let's dive into superfoods and take a look at what these things actually are. First of all, it's important to understand that the United States Department of Agriculture and the Food and Drug Administration, they don't have a definition for superfoods. That's not a thing to them. So superfoods, while it's used very common out there in the population, you see articles and stuff all over the internet about it, it's not really a thing. It's just kind of made up. People like to make up terms like super anything to use that hyperbole to make it sound way cooler than it might actually be. So we're going to dig into this a little bit more. So what are some examples of superfoods that people talk about out there? So we got goji berries, blueberries, pomegranate seeds, sweet potatoes, spinach, kale. You see that kale salad
Kale
over there?
Caesar.
Have you actually eaten kale?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's boring. I like kale chips. I'll put them in the
Kale
oven, a
chips are
little
pretty
olive
good.
oil on it, some cracked sea salt.
Those have to be super.
They are super delicious. I'll eat the whole thing by myself before my wife gets in there. Anyway, adzuki beans, that's a fun one to say, adzuki beans. Quinoa, it's not quinoa. My good friend Jeff told me that that's not how you pronounce that a long time ago. Corrected my pronunciation on this, so it's quinoa. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, the super duper acai. I don't know what that little thing is on the C right there. It looks like an accent over there, but acai, that's how you pronounce that thing. This is one of my favorite ones because I practice and train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and in the Jiu-Jitsu community, it's very popular for at events, at contests and tournaments and stuff to have people eat these acai bowls. They got a variety of fruits and then maybe some Greek yogurt and shredded coconut and all kinds of other berries and fruit, all kinds of stuff in it.
Granola,
all kinds of wonderful
peanut
things.
butter in mine.
Peanut butter, I'm just not a fan. I've not bought into that thing. I guess I don't like they're super sweet. I don't really like sweet things because I'm not really a sweet guy, so take that as you may. So acai is another example of one of these things that are claimed to be superfoods. Well, as we already talked about, that's not really a thing. So what are the claims that each of these and many more other foods out there are using to back up this superness of the food? Well,
I got super claims.
Super claims, yes. We should have put that up there, super claims. We'll video edit this later with some movie magic. Probably not, we're too lazy. So what are the claims that these foods and fruits and vegetables and all these things are making? So first up here we can see the cure diseases. So gotta be careful here. Again, the caveat I always give, I'm not a doctor, so anything I say about health and stuff like that, make sure to talk to your doctor about this. But when we look at the research that's done on extracts of compounds that are inside some of these foods, right? Typically, it's not the whole food. It's some compound found inside that food they're extracting out, concentrating into very large amounts that you would probably not find in that food regularly, and doing it inside of a test tube or in a petri dish over there, in vitro studies, or also animal studies. The vast majority of these things aren't even tested out and done studies in humans. So some of these things might be like resveratrol. That's the extract from inside the skin of red wine grapes. That's where we got the red wine there. You probably heard this in the past year or so. It got really popular. Everyone's like, oh, you just drink red wine and make you live forever. There's a lot of health claims around resveratrol. Again, interesting enough, it has to be extracted from the red wine grape skin and concentrated in large amounts before it even has shown significant benefits in animal studies and in vitro studies. And then of course we're still waiting for more research to be done on actual humans before we make any of those claims as being valid, so kind of got to wait on that. Another one is sulforaphane. This is an extract out of broccoli. I like broccoli. I like kale. I like broccoli. Broccoli's good.
I like broccoli. I like raw broccoli too.
Love raw broccoli. And it's interesting you should bring up raw broccoli because sulforaphane is in its greatest concentrations in raw broccoli. If you cook your raw broccoli with steamed or boiled, which is terrible. Who boils broccoli? That's just mean. Anyway, if you cook your broccoli, the heat actually destroys the sulforaphane and makes it non-active. So sulforaphane is a compound found in broccoli that has a lot of, again, positive potential health benefits. But again, most of these studies are done in vitro, in animal studies, and we're just now starting to get into the human studies to see, hey, does it actually do the things that it claims, right? And again, you're not getting these from the food itself. You're not getting it from red wine grapes. You're not eating the grapes. You're typically drinking red wine.
You basically have to drink like a barrel of wine a day. To get the
Probably
concentration.
not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend drinking a barrel of wine a
drank
day.
a bottle last night, and the barrel is going to be quite a
Tough.
challenge.
It's a challenge, but you like challenges.
I do like challenges.
That's not a challenge you want to do. So, same thing with the broccoli. You'd have to eat a whole bunch of broccoli every single day to start to see the potential benefits. The reality is the whole food in its natural state, not as viable for some of these extracted compounds benefits that they claim, right? Something to keep in mind. When it comes to balancing the pH, another claim of a lot of, especially cruciferous, green leafy vegetables, broccoli again, kale, spinach, things that grow out of the ground and that pull minerals out of the ground, this alkalinity to them. You've heard of the alkaline diet and a lot of things. I was saying we need to balance our pH in our body by taking in alkaline foods like these cruciferous vegetables. And the reality is you can't really change the pH of your body. Your bloodstream, the cells of your body, it's very tightly regulated between 7.35 and 7.45 pH. If it goes below 7.35 or above 7.45, bad things happen, right? You really, really don't want to be in that place. And the truth is, your body regulates your blood pH and the cellular pH of the rest of your body by using your kidneys. As you can see, there's a little kidney over here. Looks like a little fetus. That's weird, but whatever.
Right.
But I'm not gonna make fun because I can't draw the crap.
Kidney bean.
It could be a kidney bean. It could be. And the tiny little lungs, Chris drew next to that giant kidney. Not to scale, folks, not to scale. So your lungs help you to expire or breathe out carbon dioxide if your body gets too acidic. If you get too alkaline, right, if you get too high of a pH, your body will use your kidneys to excrete some salts, some different minerals to bring that pH back into neutrality. The reality is if you drink all the alkaline water you want, eat all the alkaline vegetables that you want to stuff in your face, once your body starts to get anywhere to the point where it's on one end of the spectrum here, in the case of too alkaline, gets over 7.45, your body's gonna start cranking the kidneys up to excrete all that stuff out in your urine. That's why your urine pH will change to more alkaline when you eat or drink alkaline products, but your blood pH will not. Your body has to be tightly regulated. That's again why we have those checks and balances inside of us to make sure we don't get outside that safe zone. It's kind of like, if you want to think of an analogy of it, it's like the temperature that we can live in, right? We can live, if some people live up in Antarctica and they get down to minus 40 and stuff, we can live there. It's not very comfortable. All the way up to like say 120 in Las Vegas where I used to live. It gets hot there. You can live there. It's not very comfortable. It's a pretty small window of temperature we can live inside of. Once you get to 200 degrees, we can't live there. You're dead. You get down to minus 600 degrees, you're dead. It's actually colder than cold can get, but whatever. The point is, we have a very narrow range that we can live in, both temperature-wise, in the case of inside your body with your cells, the pH. So your body keeps control of that. Your diet's not going to change that very much.
And that's pretty, similar in comparison to like if all these pods reading says, I got 50% of your daily vitamin C, and then you eat 18 things, now you're like at 1,000% of your vitamin C. It's not going to help you anymore than...
Something a lot of people don't take in consideration when it's supplements, vitamins and minerals, things like this. If your body is in a deficit of vitamin C, you're not getting enough vitamin C, right? We're going across the ocean from Europe over to here. A couple hundred years ago, we're in a boat. We don't have any plant material, so we get scurvy. We don't have enough vitamin C, right?
Scurvy.
Or it's funny.
Pirate?
It's like a pirate would say, scurvy. That's not enough vitamin C in your body for your cells to properly process and do things. When you're in a deficit of a nutrient like vitamin C, taking it into your diet and supplementing it, whether it be because you ate some citrus fruit or you took a vitamin C tablet because they have them nowadays, brings you back to neutral. That's a positive thing. If you're already neutral, you have all the vitamin C your body needs for your cellular opportunities to work properly. Taking more of it, your body's like, I don't really need this, and you'll just excrete it out in excess. Too much of anything, your body will recognize it and get rid of it. Except too many calories, you get too many of those, what happens? Boom! Love handles. Nobody likes that. Don't eat too many calories and you're fine.
Pardon, that was my computer made that noise.
It's okay. It happens. It's sound effects for our video here.
Forgot to hit mute.
Moving up in the world. All right. Next claim over here, removing toxins. We've had a whole video talking about toxins and detoxes and how they're not a thing at all. It's just a bunch of marketing boohoo trying to take your money and detox your wallet. That works really well. All those dollars come out of your wallet, no longer has toxic dollar bills in there. It's good. The reality is you have your kidneys, your lungs, and also your liver to detox your body. Anytime you have too much concentration of anything that could become toxic, right, bad for you, in a concentration your body's not used to, your body will excrete it. Your liver will start to take it out, metabolize it, send it through the bloodstream to the kidneys, shoot it out, and or your lungs, you'll breathe out again. You get too acidic, carbon dioxide will be expired out. Your body's got things inside it that are meant to detox you. There's been no research that has shown any of these or any other superfoods out there have any kind of an effect on your body's ability to get rid of toxins. Doesn't work that way. So again, superfoods, doesn't work that way. Finally down here, losing weight. A lot of these things, kale, eat more kale and you lose weight. Well, if you're used to eating 4 pizzas a day and you switch over to having some kale instead, you reduce calories going into your face, so yeah, you'll probably lose weight with that. Was it because you ate the kale? That was just arbitrary of a different food choice that was a lower calorie density. So a lot of people have a correlation and they think that, well, I changed over to this food and magic happened, so therefore that food did it for me. And that's not the reality. The truth is, for any of the extracts that might come from these to have any kind of metabolic impact on the body, again, it's an extract. It's not the whole food. Taking the whole sweet potato, eat 4 whole sweet potatoes, that's a lot of calories right there. Get the extract out of sweet potatoes that might have a positive benefit on your metabolism. It's tiny little amounts in milligrams, possibly, maybe even grams at the most, relative to kilograms of sweet potatoes. You're taking the calories out, you got that extract, that might have some positive benefit. But the whole food, the superfood itself, doesn't work that way. As we always talk about in these videos, if you want to lose weight just like you want to gain weight or stay the same weight, it's a simple equation, just like the little scale that Chris put over here. It's about calories in versus calories out. There's lots of factors that play into that, but at the end of the day, that's the thing that's going to determine the change in the system of your body as a whole. So to gain weight, you have to have more going in than you're using. To lose weight, you have to have more going out than you're consuming. So by decreasing your calories in, maybe shifting from one food source that's a higher calorie density to one that's lower calorie density, again, we'll use that kale example. Not very many calories in kale. You can have a bathtub full of kale, it's like 90 calories. Ooh, not very much total. That'll probably keep your belly full, keep you chewing all day long, and not have very many calories. You'll probably poo green the next day, but hey, that's your problem, not mine. So yes, it could be an assisted force in your losing weight if you've shifted from one high calorie density food to a lower calorie density one, but don't be mistaken in thinking there was magic around it or some kind of super property in that kale that made it happen, because it's just not the case.
So it looks like superfoods aren't as super as we are.
Nothing is as super as we are. We color coordinated and got the same superhero at the same time. Again, total coincidence. We didn't call ahead of time, so it's strange, it's creepy. What I don't want to do is badmouth any of these foods. The reality is, all of these things have a positive, viable benefit. And as we talk about regularly, whole food based in diet is such a good idea for most people. Shifting away from super processed foods, super processed, right, to more whole foods is going to be a positive nutrient benefit for most people out there. So regardless of what your goals are, if you want to lose weight, gain weight, be healthy, run faster, jump higher, whatever it might be, there's probably a better nutritive benefit for going towards whole foods, and you're probably going to have a better situation when it comes to total calories available. It's just a better idea for most people. It's not magic, again, having whole foods relative to processed foods. There's a time and a place for everything, and that's crazy to say. Some people don't seem to grasp that. Sometimes it's okay or a better idea to have processed foods. The issue we've talked about before when we have videos where we spoke to this is processed could mean anything from chopped up, blended, cooked. Doesn't have to mean that it's something that's in a can or a box or a bag. That's super duper processed, right? That's excessive maybe, but processed could be something as simple as raw versus cooked, raw steak versus cooked steak. First of all, it's creepy eating raw steak for some people. I like steak tartare, so I don't have an issue with it myself, but when you cook a steak, that's a process and it makes it more nutritively available, and it changes how your body can digest it and process and utilize those calories. Some people that's a positive thing for. Other people, they want to get that thermic effect of food for a higher protein content, make it so they get less total calories. It really depends on your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. That's something we talk about every video.
Even if they're not super, still enjoy them if you want. I'm going to continue to drink my wine. I'm going to continue to have my blueberries, my sweet potatoes, fries, spinach. I love spinach. My kale salad, going to keep on eating them.
More for you, buddy.
Healthier alternative for me than
more for you.
Some other stuff. I don't really go to quinoa. I don't know what the heck in that Zuki bean is, but I'll try
sounds
it out.
good. That's all I know. Is it
I do
good.
like my acai bowls, especially when I'm going to go do a HIIT workout, give me some energy.
So that's smart.
Good one.
Think about what Chris just said. He purposefully chooses an acai bowl that has a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of sugars in it, prior to doing his high intensity interval training, because he knows when he does that HIIT workout, it's going to utilize a lot of sugars from his muscles and his bloodstream. He's preparing for his workout with thought, forethought. It's very intelligent what he's saying to do right there. So that's something to think about when you go to choose your foods.
So we apologize if we ruined your day about the superfood extravaganza here, but it is what it is. Till next week, I am Super Chris, the guinea pig. This is Super Jason, the professor, signing off.